Have you ever felt like you're starting from nothing? No money, no connections, no support, no confidence, just a dream? Welcome. This is the Becoming Seat with Miss Kaby, the space where you get to talk about growth, mindset, success, finances, and we get to interview great people, great entrepreneurs who have succeeded against all the odds. And today we're talking about something that is very real, something that I've also experienced. Yeah, I can assure you I have experienced. That is how to build from 0 to 1. Not from 1 to 10, not from small to big, but from nothing to something. From being empty to having something as a person. Because most of the times, 0 feels lonely. 0 feels embarrassing. Nobody wants to be associated with you. Nobody wants to be close to you. Why? Because you're at 0. 0 feels like nobody sees you. Nobody acknowledges what you're doing. It's like you're doing nothing. But because you're at 0, it doesn't mean that you're doing nothing. But 0 is not a curse. 0, it's a beginning. It's the foundation stage. Okay. And let me start by highlighting that 0 is a mindset. Sometimes we say we have nothing, but what we actually have is fear. You're not empty. Fear is what has overwhelmed you. For you ufike hiyo point ya kujiambia I have nothing, I'm empty. It's fear. And I don't know why most of the times when fear controls you, it's so dominant. I really don't know why. But that's what I'm telling you. 0 doesn't mean you're empty. It means that you're at a foundation stage. And let me tell you something that is really powerful. Foundations are built in private. Let's talk about the moments that nobody is clapping for you at the beginning. Nobody is watching your content. No views. No sales on that thing that you're selling. Nobody wants to try it out. No validations. No good compliments. Because most of us, when you start, you want to hear people cheering you up. I really loved your product. I really loved your content on Instagram, on YouTube. You want to hear someone giving you a pat on the back. But why can't you start by giving yourself a pat on the back and tell yourself, you know what, at least I'm doing something. Even if I'm 0, I'm getting from 0 to 1. And 0 requires belief before evidence. Are you believing in yourself? Do you really believe in yourself that you can do it? Do you believe in what you can do? Do you believe in growth? Do you? Okay. Do you give yourself a pat on the back? Because it all starts from the inside. Growth starts from within. It begins with you. For me to give you that shout out, for me to tell you know what, I love what you're doing, you should have told yourself that first. That is how 0 looks like. And before other people start complimenting you. So stop waiting for the perfect conditions. You're waiting for the perfect circumstances, right? We've already defined what a perfect looks like, what you should have, what you're supposed to be doing, for you to be congratulated by other people. But as I said, many people are not broke. They're waiting. They're waiting to feel confident. Are you? I can resonate with that because I remember before I started this podcast, I was like, let me wait for a moment that I'll start feeling confident. That is when I'll start waiting to feel ready. I was supposed to start this podcast, that is the 9th of December, but I was telling myself, I'm not ready. I know the perfect moment will come. I was waiting for support from people, but nobody supported me. I had to choose to make that step. Waiting, most of us, you're waiting for capital. Right now you're at a 0, right? Waiting for capital so that you can start that business. You can implement that idea that you have. But growth does not respond to waiting. It responds of movement. That is the little things that you're doing to complement that is 0 to 1. Trust me, if you're not moving, if you're not making the actions, if you're not doing something, you're just doing nothing, ukijambia I'm going to grow, well, that will not happen. Let me tell you, you're being delusional. Yes, you are being delusional. And you don't need everything for you to come from 0 to 1. You need to use something. What is that one thing that you have? Is it the confidence? Is it an idea? Is it that 1,000 shillings that you have? Is it a strategy that you have written down? That is what you need to use. And another thing, let's say, for example, it's for the world of entrepreneurship. Start with one product. Who will know it's one product? Ukuja uniambia, you know what, Miss Kaby, I'm selling this oil at, let's say, 1,500 shillings, and then I get convinced into buying that product. Will I know that you have one product? No, because it all starts from within. That should show you need confidence. Start with your phone to create content. Hakuna mtu mwenye atajua, as long as your camera is, let me say, good, because you also need quality content. Start with that one content. Nobody will know, nobody, unless you're not confident enough. Nobody will know that you don't have money to go to the gym. Start with the fitness journey. Tembea asubuhi for 30 minutes. You'll start losing weight. Will I know that you did not go to the gym? No, unless you choose to tell me. And that's why I'm telling you. Start with what you have. And it comes to healing. Healing is a process. Healing is a journey. Start healing by having one honest conversation. Will I know that you did not go and see a therapist? I won't know unless you decide to tell me. And that's why I'm telling you, you don't need everything. You just need to use something. And we always have it. It's only that fear has really overwhelmed us to that point here. You can't see what you have. You don't treasure what you have. You don't treasure what is surrounding you. And that's why you're not getting from 0 to 1. Because let me tell you, it's really hard to get from 0 to 100. It's very easy compared to 0 to 1, because that process here, 0 to 1, it's where you lay the foundation. It's where you lay the strategies. It's where you choose to conquer all the disbelief that you have about your weaknesses and choosing to use your weaknesses to growth, because trust me, it's possible. However, you need to embrace the small beginnings. From 0 to 1 looks small, but it's very powerful. Talk about that one client, that one idea, that little habit that you started doing probably after you've watched this podcast, or that little habit that you started doing last week, this week, I don't know, but it is powerful. That one opportunity that you got, it can change your life. It can transform your life. It's possible for you to do something. So never despise your one. Never, because you never know. Probably that one could be the shifting moment of your life. You never know. Probably that's where things might change. Because one, you getting from that 0 to 1, it builds your confidence. You'll be like, at least I've made it. At least you'll be happy seeing yourself. Oh, kumbe ni mimi nime lose weight. Oh, I'm the one who started my podcast. At least I've done something. It creates momentum for you now to go to 1, 2, 3. It creates the momentum. It, fuel or ignites the zeal, the passion that was dead. And that's what I'm telling you. Never despise your one. It builds a discipline, because when there's discipline, it means there's consistency. As I said, 0 to 1, it's not easy. Discipline is needed. Consistency is needed. You need to show up even when you don't feel like, when your emotions are low. And let me remind you one thing. There is no emotional residue for winners. So most of the times, things are not working out, you don't have the money, nobody has bought that one product that you have, nobody is seeing what you're doing. But let me tell you, being consistent beats everything. Please make sure that you remember there is no emotional residue for winners. You want to be a winner? Wake up. Just like these people who run in the morning. Watu wenye wanakimbia asubuhi. These people, they wake up. In the morning it's very cold. I don't know why. Asubuhi ndio kuna kuanga na baridi sana. But they choose to wake up. They choose to be consistent. Why? Because they know where they want to go. They want to have something. And another thing, it means that if you're consistent, it's going to attract growth. And growth is a very, very loud. Sometimes we people are so funny. When it comes to growth, you're waiting to see who is noticing what you're doing. But why don't you choose by working on your GMBA? Even if people not notice the growth itself, as long as I know I'm consistent and I'm disciplined, at least I know I am growing that is from 0 to 1. And the good thing with being in that stage 0, it tests your character. Hey, that's where capacity is built. I think capacity is built from the top. No. Capacity inatengenezwa huku chini kwanza. That's where you're modified. That's where you're unavunja. That's where you experience everything. And that's what I'm saying. It tests your character. That's where you get to know, oh, really? I'm not patient. I started with one product and nobody is buying it. Hakuna mtu mwenye anajua, ananunua. That's when you get to know. When it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, patience is key. That's where you are. That's where you get to understand you really need to be patient. Not everyone is going to buy this product. And that's what I'm saying. That's where your character is built. At 0, you get to doubt yourself. Doubting yourself, doubting everything that you do, questioning everything that you do. You compare yourself with people. You compare yourself with the people that have gone ahead of you. You question your dreams. I remember when I started this podcast, I was like, guy, this is not the right time. I don't think this is not the right time. Even before we did this second episode, I was like, this is not the right time. Probably I should quit. That is how 0 looks like. Trust me, it's not good. It's not a good state. That's why you feel behind. And but remember that comparison will keep you at 0. Stop comparing yourself. Who started? Tulisema life is like a book. Mtu alianza page 1 last year. Sahi yako page 86. You have started ndio uko pale kwa content uko page 1 and you're comparing that person. Well, you taka 0 because someone else chapter 10, it's not your chapter 1. You need to keep that. And let me repeat that very loud and clear. Someone else chapter 10 is not your chapter 1. And I believe that is what you should have in mind as a person, especially when you're building yourself from 0 to 1. And how can you get to 1? Build a skill, not status. Watu waone vitu zenye unafanya. When you're at a 0, focus on becoming more valuable. And how can you become valuable? Because let me say you want to start selling a certain product, or you want to offer certain kind of skills, certain kind of services. I don't know, that thing that you want to start offering. Well, people will come to you, not because you're good, but because of the value of what you're offering, the value of what you have. Okay? So work and focus on becoming valuable. Being valuable is the key. Instead of looking rich on social media, well, your account is being drained. Unajua una pesa but umenunua manguo. You're just living beyond your means instead of living within your means. You want to look successful. It's okay to look successful, but make sure you're looking successful is complementing the actions that you're taking as a person for you to become successful. Don't impress people. You'll impress people, but you're not going to grow. I was listening to someone. I don't know how the podcast is called. I can't recall, but alikuwa anasema most of us we start businesses that are, you start a business, the business itself, it's offering the services, good services and everything, but the business is keeping you broke. There's no difference between that business that is keeping you broke and offering good services and you trying to impress people instead of working from coming up, that is from 0 to 1. So focus on learning, augment your skills, learn something new every day, improving, practicing, growing. Because trust me, skill pays, as they say, discipline pays, and character pays. But the key thing is augment your skills. Make sure you focus on discipline over motivation. And remember, character pays. There's something that people always say. They usually say that character, they usually say a gift may take you at the top, but character is what sustains you. You might be talented in sales and marketing. You might have a talent, I don't know, singing and everything, but character is what will sustain you at the top. Another thing that I need to remind you, be okay with being unknown. It's okay. Unataka kuanza biashara Nakuru, unataka mtu mwenye ako Kisumu ajue. Be okay with being unknown. The great people like Elon Musk, Jack Ma, he's the CEO of Alibaba.com. These people, they started with being unknown. Hakuna mtu mwenye alikuwa anawajua. Even I myself, I didn't know them. But they were comfortable with that. Be comfortable with being unknown sometimes because it is part of the foundation to success. This generation is afraid of starting small because we want visibility before value. You want to be known before value itself. Value is key, and I'll continue repeating, value is key. Okay? And be comfortable in silence. In silence is so you get to work on yourself, get to know your strength, get to know your weaknesses, get to know how you can become better. Be comfortable with being unseen. It's okay. You're creating content with the 0 views. It's okay. It's okay that nobody is liking your views, but value and consistency beats everything. Be comfortable being underestimated. Yeah, people get to underestimate you a lot of times. Not once, not twice, especially in the field of media. What else? Let me say, even in beauty and everything, it's okay to be underestimated. But are you working on becoming a better? Are you? Because the becoming part is where everything is built. Because when growth is real, the noise itself will follow later. What are you focusing on? The validation? Ama you're focusing on what people have to say? Because remember, not everyone that is clapping for you is clapping because you're jealous. Some of the people out there, they're clapping because they're like, sasa huyu alikuja hapa kufanya nini? That's what I'm telling you. Be okay with being unknown. And in that time of silence, make sure that you're working on yourself. And there's a time for everything. Make sure that on that season, 0, I'm calling it 0 because it's not good at all, before you get to 1, make sure that you work on the foundation, because foundation really matters a lot. Foundation is key. Foundation. Because imagine you getting at the top without a good foundation. Even the Bible itself gets talk about foundation. And on foundation, they say foundation is key to everything. Foundation really matters a lot. How you build a house really matters a lot. There are many things that you're going to try out, going to fail. And we said failure is a prerequisite to success, and it's okay. But at least you're trying. Most of us, I can't realize, even me myself included, we fail today. We take 2 years to to recover from that failure. Instead of failing, alafu uamke, you take 2 years to recover from that. But for you to succeed, you need to make sure that you lay a good foundation, and you need to be reminding yourself every day, I'm not behind, I am building, I am not late, I am not empty. Okay, I am in a foundation season, and we said the foundation season, it's always empty. Nobody notices what you're doing. So if you're at 0 today, please don't panic. 0 is not the end. 0 is the soil. That's where you get to cultivate everything. And nothing grows without the soil. And when I talk about soil, I'm talking about discipline, consistency, over motivation. You showing up even if you feel like, me kitu imenichosha, but I can't do this anymore. You showing up on those moments, that is the soil. Okay, and you're coming. Your one is coming soon, as long as you're consistent, as long as you are patient. But you must move from being scared. You must move from starting small. It's okay. It's okay to start scared. It's okay to start small. It's okay to start alone, but start. Okay, and I believe this has been quite an inspiration for you. I don't know what you've learned from this. That aspect, you're starting from 0 to 1. It's okay to start from 0 to 1. Well, thank you so much for tuning in for this episode. That is the Becoming Seat with Miss Kaby. This way you get to talk about growth, success, mindset, and finances. And we get to have great interviews with people who have succeeded against all the odds. Make sure that you get to interact with us on our social media handles. What is that one thing that has stood out for you on this episode? What is that thing that you have learned? And if you have a story to tell, we're so glad to hear from it. Hapo kwa comment section. Don't forget to share that link with friends, family, and everybody on your social media handles. Tell them that you have an amazing podcast in town that is The Becoming Seat with Miss Kaby. Till next time, bye bye.